This is the reason why the first.
We're on the Mekong. For our first day in Chiang Mai, we actually decided to do a day trip that includes Chiang Rai and the Golden Triangle. The journey from Chiang Mai to Chiang Rai actually takes about 4 to 4.5 hours. So about halfway into the journey, we stopped at these really cool hot springs. I think they were called Mekong Hot Spring and Geyser. The water was so hot, you physically couldn't put your feet in it. Just listen to my dad and his reaction. After we left the hot springs, we continued to make our way to Chiang Rai, and our first stop once we got there was to the White Temple, which is something my mom was really excited to see. The White Temple doesn't actually have a whole lot of history to it. It's a fairly newer temple, but just the architecture alone and all of the intricate details make it worth the journey. One of the things to do when you're at the White Temple is to get a lucky leaf. You write down a wish and then you hang it. And the hope is that the wish comes true. After we left the White Temple, we continued north to Chiang San, an old Lana city, which is the gateway to the Golden Triangle. In Chiang San, we stopped at the largest temple in the city, called Wat Chedi Luang. An interesting fact is that this temple shares its name with a famous temple in Chiang Mai. However, this particular temple in Chiang San was actually built first, dating back to around 1291. For lunch, we stopped at a local restaurant where we had a buffet of a variety of different Thai foods. After lunch, we continued our tour. Next on the itinerary was to take a slow boat down the Mekong River. The boat took us to the intersection of the three countries, Myanmar, Laos, and Thailand, also known as the Golden Triangle, before we made our way over to Laos, where we did a little shopping.
Hey Mom, where are we?
Laos. Laos or Lao?
Laos.
Laos.
Where are we, Dad?
Laos. All right, we are legal.
So we're on a tour today, and on the tour, you take a stop over and you get a permanent or a temporary visa for Laos. So we just took a boat along the Mekong, and now we're in Laos. So
For opium.
we're doing the Golden Triangle. So my parents can now check off that they've been to Laos, in addition to Thailand and soon to be Cambodia. We're on the Mekong.
I took the sound out because all you could hear was the motor, but basically I'm saying, we're on the Mekong! Golden Triangle! After we returned from our adventure in Laos, it was time for us to go to the Opium Museum to learn about the opium trade that occurred in the Golden Triangle. If there's one thing you should know about the opium trade in Thailand, is that Thailand actually used to be #1 in the world for opium production. I pretty much stopped recording after we left the Golden Triangle because I was so tired, but once we got back, it was the Sunday night market, and so of course my parents and I went. And that is how we ended our day. One more thing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on my next adventure.